that's very important. Read it. Please read it.
I'll read it, my lord.
हाँ,
I'll read it from the beginning itself.
नहीं, why
हमारी
wait?
बिना सहमति के भेजा जाता है
हाँ.
तो हम बच्चों के द्वारा कोई भी आत्मघाती कदम उठाया जाएगा.
Are you holding a power of attorney on behalf of all the children? Because this petition is filed on behalf of 2 children.
2 children, my lords.
So when you are talking about 16 children,
Them
guardian
also.
से ले लेते आप authorization.
Beg your pardon, my lords.
Guardian से ले लेते.
They are orphan children, my
हाँ,
lords.
orphan children का भी तो legal guardian होता है भाई.
The legal guardian, that the registration is now cancelled, my lords. My lords.
चलिए next case.
Then, my lords, I would pray that my lords may upload, my lords may pass whatever orders at least uploaded today. We may have an opportunity of challenging this order tomorrow.
You cannot dictate me.
No, I'm requesting.
जो बच्चों के 10वीं और 12वीं के बोर्ड के एग्जाम है उनको वहीं लोकली एडजस्ट कर दिया है.
No, that's not the case.
That is not correct. Then you file a counter affidavit. लिखिएगा. श्री विशाल मिनिस्टर राज.
My lords, may just at least for a moment, my lords. The only reason why I'm just requesting, my lords, for a moment of your lordship's time.
पढ़िएगा.
आज दिनांक 10/12/23 को बाल कल्याण समिति सागर दमोह के आदेश दिनांक 8/12/23 के अनुसार महिला बाल विकास एवं SJPO के अधिकारी एवं कर्मचारी बच्चों के स्थानांतरण हेतु संस्था आधारशिला दमोह में उपस्थित हुए कार्यवाही के दौरान संस्था द्वारा समस्त बच्चों के उनके स्थानांतरण की प्रक्रिया जारी की गई. उसी दौरान काउंसलर के द्वारा बच्चों की काउंसलिंग की गई जिसमें बच्चों ने अचानक आकर अपने स्थानांतरण किए जाने का विरोध किया तथा उन्होंने अपनी शिक्षा एवं अपने रहन सहन को लेकर बाल कल्याण समिति अध्यक्ष दैट्स द नेम से वीडियो कॉल पर बात कर अपनी बात प्रस्तुत कर उन्हें पहले दमोह में काउंसलिंग के लिए बुलाया एवं कहा कि बिना बच्चों की सहमति के आप हम सभी बच्चों को कहीं भी नहीं भेज सकते. आपने जो आदेश दिया है वह हम बच्चों के बिना सहमति के किया है. हम लोगों को यदि हमारी बिना सहमति के भेजा जाता है तो हम बच्चों के द्वारा कोई भी that was of course what they had to say.
नहीं, हाँ, that's very important. Read it. Please read it.
I'll read it, my lord. I'll read it from the beginning itself.
नहीं, why
हमारी
wait?
बिना सहमति के भेजा जाता है तो हम बच्चों के द्वारा कोई भी आत्मघाती कदम उठाया जाएगा जिसकी जिम्मेदारी बाल कल्याण समिति की होगी. उसी दौरान बाल गृह के प्रबंधक श्री वीरेंद्र पाटिल एवं बालिका गृह के प्रबंधक श्रीमती रवेका सिंह से भी अध्यक्ष महोदय सागर के द्वारा कहा गया कि ऐसी स्थिति को देखते हुए भोपाल से मार्गदर्शन लेकर अग्रिम कार्यवाही करेंगे एवं उसके बाद संस्था को सूचित करेंगे. वर्तमान वस्तु स्थिति एवं बालक बालिकाओं का विरोध देखते हुए आज की कार्यवाही स्थगित की जाती है. Now, my lords, I only submit before my lords that the children over here, out of their own volition, my lords, have raised something which there's a reason why we call it the principle of natural justice, my lords. The only reason behind it is, my lords, because when a person is cornered, whether he is educated about the law or he is not educated about the law, whether he is a minor but of conscious sense or whether he is a major, the first thing which would strike a person's mind is, what about speaking to me before taking a decision which adversely affects me? That's why probably Miller's jurisprudence has come down to call it natural justice. Now, Miller's for the Juvenile Justice Act, there is something which takes care of exactly this proposition, my lords.
Where is that provision?
I'll just point out for my lords. Could my lords be pleased to have section 3 of the Juvenile Justice Act?
Yes.
These are the general principles to be followed in the administration of the act. Virtually a chapter or a section which binds the entire act of the juvenile justice. The opening line of section 3 is the central government, the state government, the board and other agencies, as the case may be, while implementing the provisions of this act shall be guided by the following fundamental principles. Now, Millets, we can very easily discern that this section 3 and all its basic principles mentioned thereunder apply on the central state or any board or any body and operates over every act taken within the meaning of the Juvenile Justice Act. I'll just very remotely invite my lord's attention to paragraph number 3. Principle of participation, it says, my lords. Every child shall have a right to be heard and to participate in all processes and decisions affecting his interest, and the child's views shall be taken into consideration with due regard to the age and maturity of the child. Now, my only submission is, my lords, if my lords are to have the impugned orders, they have been filed, my lords, for this court, wide annexure P1, my lords. My lords would go through this order, any of the orders, my lords. There are 5 orders over here, 4 or 5 orders. Not a single order, Millet says, or would reflect any application of mine to the extent that the child, prior to having taken this order into having made this order, was ever consulted. What is the child's interest, my lord, over here? Now, my only humble submission is that in light of Millet's principle 3, these orders, I don't say that the CWC does not have a right to pass these orders. They most certainly do. But I'm only saying is the CWC consults the child, those children who are conscious. And all the children over here are 17 years, Millet 16 years, some are 14 odd, conducting an inquiry whether this child can understand its own benefit or its own good or bad.
Right.
The CWC may take a decision after hearing them.
Right.
That is one part of my argument, Millet. The second part of my argument is they say in their reply that since the license of the Aadharshala or the registration under 41 has been cancelled, which order has been upheld by my lords, they filed that order. Even I make a mention of that in my petition. My only submission is, my lords, after such an exigency, the JJ board minutes took something into account that whenever a license is cancelled, it is not as if, because it's a very practical thing, my lords, a license can be cancelled due to administrative exigency. But there are practical applications of it below because there are children living and existing there. The mere cancellation of a registration will not render those children shelterless or homeless.
Right.
So I would argue, Mills, that the legislature took that into account.
So where
and
is that? Where is
that is in 41 subsection 7, my lords.
41(7) padhiyega.
Mills, it says the state government may, after following the procedure as may be prescribed, cancel or withhold registration, as the case may be, of such institutions which fail to provide rehabilitation, reintegration services as specified in section 53, until such time the registration of an institution is renewed or granted, the state government shall manage the institution. There is a provision in which the state government will come, overthrow the administration of the concerned childcare institute, and assume a post or a status of an administrator therein.
Okay.
Now, Millis, the obvious question which I will, Millis, be raising to myself is, admittedly, the registration of the Aadharshala was cancelled on 14/8/2023 with no remedy to the petitioner. Those orders were upheld by my lords. Even that order has been passed some time back, my lords. My submission is from the 14th of August 2023 onwards. It is an admitted fact that the children are still there. There is the intervention of the state government already there. They are managing the affairs, Millets, in a very superficial manner. They are taking care of the entire, of course, the infrastructure is still that of probably the Aadharshala only. The rooms probably must be the same, the laundry services, the food, all of that must be still the same. But Millets, there is a supervision of the state government purportedly under section 41(7). Now, Millets, my only submission is that now, Millets, I'll come on to a slightly more sympathetic submission, my lords. And in the light of the Juvenile Justice Act, that would also be a valid submission I would submit. Now, Millets, these children, out of these 16 children, Millets, 13 children have been born, not born there, but they were either abandoned or rescued from a very almost at infancy. Out of these 16, Millets, 13 children have been there right from the very beginning.
Right.
This is their only family which they have. 3 children, I'll fairly admit, they were rescue cases. One child was, of course, she was a rape victim, so then she came down over there. So not for those 3, but 13 out of these 16 children, Millets, from infancy, they've been together. My only submission, Millets, would be, while interpreting the provisions
Are you holding a power of attorney on behalf of all the children? Because this petition is filed on behalf of 2 children.
2 children, Millets.
So when you are talking about 16 children,
My lords,
do you have the authority from 16 children? Because section 3(3) says right of consultation. Have you taken their authorization to plead their case before this court?
the 2 children, Millets, who came, they were the only 2 who were legal to execute a wakalatnama. That's the reason.
The issue is that whether you have an authorization from the children or their guardian.
I can't even legally take that, my lords. How can I take an authorization from them also?
Guardian से ले लेते आप authorization.
Beg your pardon, my lords?
Guardian से ले लेते.
They are orphan children, my lords.
Orphan children का भी तो legal guardian होता है भाई.
The legal guardian, that the registration is now cancelled, my lords.
ठीक. Where is that guardianship vested in your institution?
No, by virtue of them being children.
Things.
Beg your pardon, my lords? And it's not my institution. I am the children.
I have understood. That's why I'm asking you that what gives you a right to argue on behalf of 16 children? You can talk about yourself. That is very well understandable that you have some grievance. You are before the court. Your grievance will be heard.
My lords, in that case, I'll make a submission. If my lords could treat this as a PIL, then my lords.
Then PIL will go before the division bench.
May it go, my lords.
So you'll have to move and you withdraw it and file a PIL.
I'll move an application, my lords, to convert this into a PIL, my lords.
Shri Vishal Vincent Rajendra Daniel prays for time to move an appropriate application to convert this petition into a PIL. Office to examine that whether such request can be acceded to or not. Full stop. As and when application is filed, office to examine and list before appropriate bench.
Highly obliged.
This request is made after Shri Brahmdatta Singh had pointed out from his return, para 9, that all the 16 children have been rehabilitated in appropriate institutions looking to their requirements. Full stop. It is specifically mentioned in para 9 of the reply filed by IA 16874/23 that out of the 16 children, 7 are students of either class 10th or 12th, and they have to take their board examination. Therefore, these children have not been disturbed, and have been placed in a government excellency school hostel in district Damoh itself, so as to enable them to continue their studies in the same school in Damoh where they were already prosecuting their studies. Next para. Replying to this submission made by Shri Brahmdatta Singh, Shri Vishal Vincent Rajendra Daniel has drawn attention of this court to the provisions contained in section 3 within bracket Roman 3 bracket close and section 41 within bracket 7 of the Juvenile Justice within bracket Care and Protection of Children bracket close Act 2015 to submit that principle of participation requires that the children should have been heard before taking any action. In this connection, full stop. In this connection, attention is drawn to Annexure P4, which is a request jointly signed by the children when persons from officials had gone to take the children for their rehabilitation in recognized institutions. Next para. Next para. As far as second contention is concerned, comma, admittedly, petitioners were lodged in Adharshala institution, which is a private body, full stop. Whether state government could have taken over the management with the existing facilities so to keep the children without there being any interference of the management whose recognition has been cancelled by the competent authority is a question which needs to be answered after giving detailed consideration. Next para. However, looking to the fact that this petition is filed only on behalf of two children, comma, when this court wanted to know from the learned counsel for the petitioner that whether they have any authorization on behalf of all the 16 children who were living in the Adharshala institution, then Shri Vishal Vincent Rajendra Daniel submits that let this petition be treated as a PIL, full stop. On such submission, comma, case is adjourned to, no, on such submission, liberty was offered to the petitioner's counsel to withdraw this petition with the liberty to file properly constituted PIL, full stop. However, Shri Daniel submits that he will be moving an appropriate application for conversion of this petition into a PIL, full stop. Since that this since validity and legality of such application is to be examined by the registry, comma, case is being adjourned. However, it is made clear that as there is no interim order in favor of the petitioners, comma, respondent authorities cannot be stopped from rehabilitating the children, especially in view of the provisions contained in Section 3 within bracket Roman 4 of the JJ Act, which deals with principle of best interest. Full stop. Section 3, Roman 4 talks of taking all decisions regarding the child to be based on the primary consideration that they are in the best interest of the child and to help the child to develop full potential. Full stop. When Section 3 within bracket 4 is read with Section 3 within bracket 3, then the aspect of participation and best interest are to be combined so to have primacy of best principle of best interest, full stop. As far as participation is concerned, it is evident that the authorities had stopped rehabilitation on 8/12/2023 when a representation was made as contained in Annexure P4. But when aspect of principle of participation on which lot of emphasis has been laid by Shri Daniel is taken into consideration with the principle of best interest, then and combined with principle of safety and positive measures, then principle of safety as contained in section 3 within bracket Roman 6 and positive measures as contained in section 3 within bracket Roman 7, then it cannot be said that the act of the state government in rehabilitating and relocating the children according to their needs and looking to the fact that recognition of an institution has been withdrawn, comma, will छोड़ दीजिए इसको देख के दिखा देंगे
Let's may I make a small prayer.
जी
With all these observations, my lords, if my lords are then
argument
adjudicating the...
argument जो किया है उसका तो आएगा
No,
ना
no, I'm not saying that. My lords have even considered merits. My lords have given a specific finding.
आपका आपका जो आर्ग्यूमेंट किया उसका मेरिट तो आएगा वकील साहब
नहीं, पर उसके अलावा सर एक ऑब्जर्वेशन ये है, they are not precluded to go and facilitate the rehabilitation centers. They are not. I don't understand, Milas, these observations are.
वो PIL में बताइएगा
No, the fact is, Milas, by the time we go in the PIL, they'll use this as a virtual mandamus and they'll come today to pick us up, my
ठीक है
lords.
चलिए नेक्स्ट केस
Then, Milas, I would pray that my lords may upload, my lords may pass whatever orders at least uploaded today. We may have an opportunity of challenging this order tomorrow.
you cannot dictate me
No, I'm requesting.
sorry
So at least we can challenge this order, my lords, because we are heavily aggrieved by this
there is
order.
lot of work I try to finish my work as soon as I am able to finish it I'll load it चलिए next case
Because my lords, they will come only on the back of this order. I am praying for an adjournment that the matter may be kept.
चलिए next case ठीक है